Hey everybody, it's Kyle. I am coming to you live from my car again. This is just a little special report. Figured I'd do a special report on these parts that I'm going to pick up at various locations. Anyway, long story short, a lot of good things happened today. I got a lot of messages back, and basically, long story short, I should have everything for this system by Sunday night. So I got a call back on the video card. That didn't work out yesterday, the GPU, but it is working out right now. That's where I'm headed to pick up over at Micro Center. So got that sucker secured. And then I was able to find a really nice case. It is slightly used, not a lot, a few months. Just needs to be cleaned up, maybe dusted a little bit, but it's in great condition. And it is, normally I would just buy a new case, okay? But coming across this, it's in real good condition. And I found it on OfferUp or Let Go, that app. I don't know if you've ever used that. It's kind of local deal like Mercari or even like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, but, more pleasing to the eye than Craigslist. But anyway, I found it on there, and this guy was selling it. It's it's the brand Deepcool, who makes really nice cases, and it is their Montex 55. Basically, it's really nice, man. I suspect it actually may have a little bit of RGB lighting on the front of it, but I guess I'll find out when I get it. Regardless, I will be putting some RGB fans in there, in addition to the CPU core, which is already RGB lit. And I think even the motherboard has some RGB lighting on it. I could be wrong. So anyway, I was able to get that, and that's going to be really reasonable, less than half price, about a third of what it should be. And I'm picking that up at Quick Trip right in my town, in Lee Summit. Sorry, that's the suburb I live in outside of Kansas City. So I'm picking that up. So that's good. Now, RAM. RAM is an issue. It is DDR4 RAM for this machine that I'm building, which is good because my son's computer that we built, I guess it's been a year and a half ago maybe, that's DDR3 RAM, and that's kind of hard to come by. And when you do come by it, people want some serious jack for it, which is interesting that the faster, newer RAM would be less expensive. But sometimes that shit happens. I know that can be a thing. So anyway, I looked around for a lot of different RAM, and I found a few things here and there. And I was looking on Newegg.com, and I did see some on there that was pretty reasonable, but it really wasn't going to get here until the end of next week, and blah, 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 blah. So I was able to find on Facebook Marketplace 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM. It's actually G-Skill Ripjaws, which is a great brand. And it's the 3200 megahertz. It's really nice, actually. And I got a great deal on it. The same exact RAM would cost you $25 to $30 more if you were to buy it, even on eBay. And then if you were to buy it new, boy, about double what it costs. Maybe maybe about $75 or $80. Maybe a little bit more. Hard to say. But anyway, I ended up scoring that deal. Now, I do have to go to Lawrence, Kansas for that, which is about an hour and 10 minutes away. However, I just so happened to be going Saturday morning to a big volleyball tournament. Of course, guys, you know that. And it's not too far away from Lawrence, and I'm kind of going in that general direction anyway. So that works out, actually. And so I've contacted the person, talked to them about it. They were selling it for one price online with shipping and all that. And I say, hey, look, I don't need shipping. I can be in Lawrence and either pick it up on your porch or whatever and leave you money, or if you want to meet somewhere public, that's fine too. And what about this price? And he was like, yeah, sure, no problem. So that's what I'm going to do. I just got to figure it out how I'm going to make all that work with this volleyball tournament, because I really don't know exactly when that is going to end. I do know that I have to be there at the butt crack of dawn on Saturday morning, so I'll be going to bed at a decent hour on Friday night. But I'm not really sure how long the tournament will last, and you never really do know, because it all depends on how well they do in the tournament. You know, if they're kicking ass and beating everybody, it can go all day. If they're not, you know, it might be a short day. So, really hard to tell. I guess we'll see on Saturday. But the guys working with me will figure it out. Worst case scenario, I mean, if I have to drive there Sunday on a separate trip, or if I have to drive there tomorrow night even on a separate trip, that's fine. It's worth it to get all the parts and get everything ready. I'm hoping to put everything together on Sunday evening. The rest of it, okay? So the other things that I got for it are things that you really do kind of want to buy new. And really you want to buy RAM new. And you also really want to buy RAM, you might get away with, okay, buying that used. But in case you usually do want to buy new, but like I said, it's such a good deal that I found. So I just went for it with this deep cool case. And it looks like it's in great shape. So I'm sure I'll be happy. But normally you want to buy a new one of those, because it's really, normally you don't save that much money, okay? And it's not really worth it, and you're kind of cutting down on the quality of your finished product, but that's not the case here. So, pun intended. So yeah, I got that going. Now all the rest of the parts and pieces, okay, I was actually able to find on Amazon. So all my fans, my CPU cooler fan, storage. So I got an SSD boot drive that'll have Windows on it, and you'll boot up through this drive. It's actually an M.2 drive, fits right on the motherboard, actually, an SSD. And I also got a heatsink for that. So I'm going to put a heatsink on top of that, so it doesn't get too hot, because those SSD drives can get really warm. Those M.2 ones. So, and then I also got a 500 gigabyte Barracuda spinning drive, and that's more for storage. So, basically if you buy more games or install games or whatever, you're going to store them on there, and then they'll run off of the other drive. So that's kind of how that works. But yeah, that's what's going on, man. And then the other parts, I've got, like I said, I got some RGB fans, the cooler. What else did I get that's in there? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. It's kind of been a whirlwind. I don't know. I did get a couple little tool things. I got like some thermal paste. I needed some more. I have some. But I got some more thermal paste. I got a little box kit that's got a bunch of standoffs and screws and stuff that you might use. And there was one other thing I got, kind of like, some static free or electric wipes. So they're wipes specifically made for PCB and electronics and stuff like that. You can wipe it off without, worrying about it damaging anything like normal wipes would. I got a big thing of those too. So that'll just kind of help me go over everything one more time and just make sure everything's nice and clean. I'll be pretty meticulous about that. As far as the motherboard, I really want to make sure there is a little dust on it. I saw not much, but I want to get all that cleaned out and get everything looking brand new and spiffy, ready to go for this scenario. So got some of that coming as well. I think that's about it, man. I can't really think of it. Power supply I also got on. That's the other thing. You really do kind of want to buy a new power supply if you can. And to be honest, this power supply is very reasonable. So I got a 500 watt power supply made by Aries Game, and it's a 80 plus bronze deal. So it's good. It's a good, solid power supply. Everything in this machine will be good, solid, well-made products. Okay, as long as everything works when I start it up and all that, we'll be good to go. If it doesn't, it definitely throws a wrench into the works, and I'll have to find whatever part's not working right or figure out why it's not working right and fix it. I can tell you that after I go pick up this video card and I get back home tonight, I'm going to go ahead and pull it apart so that I can kind of clean it up a little bit. And I also really want to reseat the on top of the graphics processor. I want to reseat the heat sink and fans. So I want to get some new thermal paste on there and make sure that that's sitting pretty, okay, ready to go, almost like a brand new version of this video card that I'm picking up. And that's about it, guys. That's what's going on. I know maybe you're either enjoying these episodes and these things I'm talking about, or you're bored out of your damn mind. I don't know. I know my wife's tired of me talking about it. I can tell you that much. Either way, it's exciting, and if this works out, I should make easily $300. So I should sell this for $300 more than for everything I paid, and make a nice little profit. Maybe more than that, actually. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, is to sell it. I'm going to price it a little higher than that. And I've seen a lot of other people out there that are doing this. I've taken a lot of notes on how they go about selling these things and how they advertise them and all that, and that's exactly what I'm planning on doing. The good news is I bought a real nice camera back in the fall, so I can get some real nice pictures of this, and that will certainly help me sell the device a lot sooner than later. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'm gonna go get this GPU. I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and stop right here. I'll throw it over to Kyle for a quick ad, and then I'll pick up recording the rest of this after I pick up the GPU. So, hey Kyle. Okay. All right, we're back. I was successful in procuring this card. Again, it's not going to set the world on fire. It's a Gigabyte RX 460, just 2 gigs of video memory. But hey, to be honest with you, that's enough to actually, obviously, run Minecraft and stuff, but also a few other games that are being played quite a bit now online, especially if you got it coupled up with a nice fast processor, plenty of memory, running off SSD, that type of thing. A fast machine, and you couple this card with it, you're going to be all right. The other thing that's going on with all this, when I'm building these systems, I want these to be systems that people are proud to own, and also systems that they're going to be able to upgrade down the road. Now that's crucial, because in this particular system that I'm building right now, the motherboard on this deal allows for all kinds of crazy modification and upgrades in the future. This motherboard actually supports SLI, which means you can buy 2 of the exact same video cards and put them in. There's actually 2 slots on this motherboard for video cards for PCIe 16. There's 2 slots for full length video cards on it, and you can run them in SLI mode where they sync up, so you got the power of 2 video cards, pushing all the data and everything that you need to have real high-end, high-resolution graphics. So the way I'm going to build it and send it out the door, it's going to do plenty. You're going to be able to play Fortnite at respectable frame rates, 60 frames a second plus, on the competitive, or those settings where the resolution's not crazy high, but everything runs smoothly and good frame rates. You're also going to be able to run CSGO. Not super great, but you'll be able to run it. Rainbow Six Siege. A few other games out there that are real popular right now. Overwatch, a couple other ones. You're not going to, like I said, you're not going to set the world on fire with how fast you're going to run these games, but you will be able to run them, and you will be able to run them at respectable frame rates. You may have to bump down the resolution a little bit. Sometimes you may have to run it in 900p instead of 1080. Sometimes you may have to run it, in 720p. But you will be able to play all those games. And the same goes for Grand Theft Auto 5 online. You'll be able to play that and run that as well. So it's going to be a great machine. It's just how far do you want to take it in the future? So what I'm trying to do is, I'm not trying to build the world's biggest and baddest ass computer. What I'm trying to do is build a computer that's going to get people into gaming on a PC and allow them to upgrade in the future once they grow a little bit, okay? So I don't want them to take everything out of what I build and throw it away and start fresh. I want them to say, hey, you know what? I can get a Core i7, blah, 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 7000 series processor and put it in here. And I can go ahead and add 2 more DIMMs of RAM in here. And I can upgrade this video card. I can add another SSD. There's all kinds of things you can do. Since the boot drive is a M.2 drive that's right on the motherboard, there's a slot for it right on the motherboard, you could also create a boot drive on a regular SSD, or you could buy a bigger M.2 drive and SSD and put it on there, 2 terabytes if you want, and you can make that your boot drive. And then there's plenty of SATA ports, so you can add a lot more storage, whether it be SSDs or hard drives. It doesn't really matter. You can upgrade this thing in the future is what I'm getting at. So that's really what I'm trying to do. There's so many, and look, man, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back like I'm, technology Jesus or something. I'm not saying that. I'm not here to save the world. I'm having fun building these things. I like doing this. It's a fun hobby for me because I love technology and stuff. And at the same time, I'm going to be able to help, kids and their parents get kids machines that they'll be able to upgrade in the future without getting ripped off from the other, there's big stores out there, and I'm not going to say them because we do business with them. And not just stores, but even online stores that sell pre-built machines. And those pre-built machines, man, they're just not good sometimes. I haven't seen very many pre-built systems that are actually really well made. You're so much better off buying all the parts yourself and building a gaming rig than you are futzing around with, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to call out Alienware, or the ROG machines that they make. Now, those tend to be a little bit better, the Republic of Gamers machines. And there are some good machines out there when it comes to desktops, but a majority of the machines that are sold that are pre-built gaming machines kind of suck. And there's really not any upgradability. And it's kind of like you play it for a while and then you're done. Or you have to, it breaks down and you can't replace just a power supply, or you can't replace, just the processor. You're kind of stuck in whatever it is they sell you. There's not a good upgrade path. And what I'm trying to do is create machines that will have a good upgrade path, but they'll get you going right now, and you'll be able to play these games on them right now. And the reason why is because I see so many kids, my own daughter, my son's friends, her friends, and, they can't convince mom and dad to buy a $1,200 gaming rig. They can't convince them to buy a $900 gaming rig. They might be able to convince them to buy something around $600 to $700, maybe $750, depending on what all's in there. And that's kind of where I'm hitting with this, and that's kind of what I'm after. Is number one, less e-waste. Number two, a great hobby for me, especially with depression, keeps my mind focused on something and achieving something. And then number three, you're giving kids an opportunity to play these games and not spend a lot of money to do it. And you're setting them up so down the road when they have, part-time jobs or they're working in the summer, they can save up for that higher-end processor and buy it and just swap it out in this machine. Or that higher-end video card once video cards go back to somewhat normal pricing. The cool thing is, the guy that I just bought this from, Matt, he told me that he does have other video cards, higher-end ones. He said, this one will get somebody by for a while for sure. But he's got some 1070s and 1060s as well. Those are high-end suckers. And so I said, well, man, I might be interested. And he said he's even got another video card he just gave me. It's actually a little bit more powerful than this one. I can't remember which one he said it was, but it takes a, pretty big honking power supply to run it. But that might be something I'm interested in, He's going to give it to me for free. That can go in another build, and, I make more money, okay? A higher wattage power supply is not something that's crazy expensive. I can find that, for reasonable. So, yeah, I have to buy a 650 or 750 or even an 850 power supply. It's really not the end of the world. I can afford 20 or 30 more dollars on a power supply rather than hundreds of more dollars on a different video card. So, there's I don't know, man. As you guys can tell, I'm totally into this. And I'm definitely, I don't want to sound stressed, even though there is a certain amount of stress in it. It's a good stress. It's a stress I like having in my head that kind of keeps me focused on something. And so there you go. But that's what I'm doing, man. Got the video card, got the motherboard, got the processor. Tomorrow I will have the case. And then this weekend I will have the RAM and all the rest of the parts for this box. And I can't wait to take some pictures and show you guys this thing. You're going to be like, holy shit. I think it's really going to be an impressive box. And if it's not, like, man, seriously, if I put this card in and I'm like, I'm just not getting anything, this kind of sucks. I can put this card to the side and find another card, man. And just maybe charge a little more for the system, Maybe this other card that he has that requires more power. I can swap out a PSU and put a higher end card in if I have to. All kinds of options, basically, is what I'm getting at. So I'm sure if I buy one of those 1060s or 1070s from this guy, he'd be more than happy to continue to do business with me, and it could really help me in the future to do more of these and sell more of these down the road. So, all right, guys, I'll go ahead and quit talking about this. I got to get on home and get this sucker all cleaned up and ready to go. It looks pretty clean, though, actually. I'm very happy also. It's the 2-fan version, so it's going to get lots of nice cooling when it's running and all that, because it's going to be running, man. This particular card is really going to be pushed to its limits when it comes to gaming down the road. So, yeah, anyway. All right, I'll catch you guys later on. That's it for this special report. I'll try and do a couple more this weekend when I get the other parts and stuff. And I'll try and take plenty of pictures so you guys can see what's going on as I procure these parts and assemble this computer. Until then, though, get off my lawn.